Good morning, afternoon or evening. Today I've got a replay of a match I had recently against Dud 1. I'm not sure what clan that is, the MR. It's an island map, which I don't get very often, and it looks like there's a lot of resources here, but you'll see that after 2 hours the resources do run out quite quickly. Really intense match with a lot of points where both of us almost lost. So I hope you do enjoy. So, here are the first parts of the match, where I'm Bronze Age, my enemy's also Europe Bronze Age. You can see he's built a lot of his docks right next to me. You could probably see me, I didn't scout that very well, while I built mine basically as far away as possible. But I do land on this island, which I think is his territory, but it's not. I should have stayed here and built up an economy, taken his resources. That way he would only have these resources on an island. But you can see he's getting his own navy, and one of my ships died to a crocodile, because crocodile OP. So, I've got my boats here trying to land. At the same time he lands on me, but I've got an army of slingers which don't make it in time. I managed to kill one worker and his boats, but at the same time I'm building towers in his base, and the crocodile sneaks into his economy, giving me just enough time to actually build a second tower. But he's got a army to defend with, and my slingers run in while he's distracted defending against my landing, and I destroy his workers, leaving just one tower. At the same time, I'm also going medieval and getting legionaries from 3 barracks with 11 workers on iron. I should have used this one first, you'll see why in a bit. But my landings also go terribly wrong. I do try and lead his workers away so I can land with these ones and build a tower. It just doesn't work out though. So at the exact same time as I hit Eastern Europe, he goes Western Europe, which was a good idea here. He could build trebuchets and knock out anything over here. But with me clearing his landing, and I now have some legionaries ready, I start upgrading to galleys, but unfortunately he does waste some of my resources here by taking out 2 of my battle boats while I upgrade the half-health ones, because I'm still producing galleys here. My food economy is not doing too great. I should have invested in more fishing boats, because currently I have only 2. They got attacked a little while ago and I lost a lot of 2 crocodiles. As you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a 5th one over here, I think. And so you can see I've got 2 galleys with my legionaries in. Some of them are a little bit injured, but that's because they were fighting. You can see that my economy is doing quite well, but his economy is also doing very well. Just his wood is the only thing he's lacking, and he's using his outmost iron now. I've still not finished my copper. And I do land with my legionaries, so you can see that's his economy at the start, and he has 60 workers. And this is my economy when I land. I take out all of his heavy spearmen. I could probably have run past these and killed his workers, but I figured that if he managed to land those heavy spearmen on my base, I would struggle to get rid of them, so I get rid of them there. I don't lose too many, just get some injured. And I take out some of his houses. I should also have spent more time taking out his houses, because he just runs away with his workers, unfortunately. He does lose these ones. And at the same time, he's not really microing this part of his base too well, but he is microing the ships quite well. At this point I know that I've lost control of the sea. My wood economy is basically stopped now. And my navy is nothing compared to his. But I'm still killing his workers and stuff with the legionaries. I should have killed these houses, focused on getting rid of these, because they weren't protected by towers, which have crossbows in them. So I should have spent more time doing that. But that's all of my legionaries out now. And he lands again with a West Europe tower this time. So I've just picked up my wood economy, and I've made a tiny little navy, and I don't intercept him very well here. I dodge his projectiles from the siege ships, and some naval combat later he managed to destroy one of my docks. He's also dealt with my legionaries fully now, and to them he lost 30 workers, it seems? He did have 60. He lost 20 workers to that, and he's almost max population. So those legionaries did quite well. I'd say they were worth the money, but I did have to sacrifice my naval power for that. I put a lot of resources into those legionaries. As you can see, the galleys are just not even able to really get close because the siege ships just spread out and are way too effective. But you can see I've got some sneaky docks here on the side of my base, and I'm gathering resources as long as I can until he starts hitting my woodline. You can see that he's now starting to build workshops, and in those workshops, but I wonder why he's making pikemen and onagers. The pikemen at the moment are very powerful. I can envision them getting a nerf soon. In the last patch they got such a big buff. They're quite overpowered now. But you can see his navy is still here, causing me problems, and my navy is trying to do a bit of an encirclement here. One of my strategies is to stand my archers on the coastline, stopping his siege ships from getting in close, and he just wastes his shots killing archers, which cost 60 food. But the catapult, I'm starting to spam catapults and moving my economy over to this side, because, well, this side is kind of not doing too great right now. But I do sink a huge portion of his navy, which costs him a lot of metal. And at this point, he's only got this one iron deposit left, and there's no other iron on the map. So unless he gets an industrial that makes mines, it's the same for me though. He's cut me off with my iron with his navy. But I managed to wipe out his workers on the island, or most of them at least. You can see he's only got this one here, and this tower's got 30 kills. But I'm using my archers to get rid of these heavy spears, while my catapults get rid of everything else. And now my workers have to migrate over to the other side of my base again to gather more resources. At the same time he's destroying my docks, which I'm still trying to build back up, but I just don't have the naval power up that right now. So we're both staying early medieval, and my economy is better in every way, I think. But I'm now starting to be careful about spending iron. I see how little iron there is on the map, and I do queue up my late medieval upgrade, which he has not done. He's still going for more workers, because he's still not recovered from the legionary attack in worker numbers. But you can see his entire population is filled up with ships and this one onager. So I managed to collect quite a lot from the stone node, about 8,000 stone almost, and my catapults, which do not cost iron. At this point wood was not an issue, I've got plenty. But I managed to kill off this onager and take out a few of his ships with my catapults. Unfortunately, because of the turning speed of the catapults, they can't really get away, so I just commit them to the fight, because the siege ships actually cost a fair amount of iron, 150 iron each, and the catapults don't. So I try to commit them. Of course there's a tiger here which kills some of my workers, and I start building more houses. I right now have about 70 workers, and my enemy has 60. So I'm still ahead in workers and in economy. And he commits to the last few of his ships to trying to get rid of my catapults, which he does quite well. Scares them off for a bit. And he's getting ready for the landing. I'm almost late medieval now, and he's not quite started his upgrade. He doesn't have the economy at the moment. But he's got just enough to keep up his production of ships. At least I think so, yeah, he's still just spamming out ships. At this point I also start trying to get a vision tower up down, but I realise I've got no fishing boats and about 3 workers on my farm, so it's not sufficient. But I do manage to get a landing down on my island over here, so I actually managed to get some food where it's safe. I have to defend yet another landing, and my archers and militiamen managed to snipe a few of his galleys, which is all that he's spamming now. I could probably have also been building a navy, but I just thought he's already got the naval power, there's no point trying to challenge it, I can just go defensive. This carries on for quite a while, with me trying to get to industrial for quite a while now. I'm making some cannons, to no avail because I have no iron, this is my only iron deposit left. And now he overtakes me with economy, and is also late medieval, making even more workers. So soon he'll overtake me with workers, I think. Because I can't afford to move up in the ages. But I do manage to sneak in 11 workers quickly to gather as much iron as they can, which gives me enough to start my upgrade again. Unfortunately the cannons are just too expensive, I should have made them, they were not effective. I don't think they even get a single kill the whole game. But I do have a little bit of a navy here, just to protect any galleys, any of my fishing boats which he might send galleys after. And I start a landing over here with bombardiers. I also shouldn't really do this, I was hoping I could snipe his down hall, but he gets bombardiers out before me and lands with pikemen. You can see the cannons just don't do very well, and I lose a lot of workers there, like 6 or 7 workers, but it's not too big of an issue, and my militiamen finish that off. But now that he has bombardiers, the archer strategy is much less effective, and I start spamming out even more archeries. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 archeries now. I should probably have built a few less than that, because I just ate all my iron again, which I don't have much of. You can see I go back to making catapults, and he destroys a lot of my houses, which I then have to rebuild. And a repeat of what happened in the early medieval age, he manages to push me into my little fishing area and destroy all my docks and a lot of my wood line as well. You can see that he's not even going IR yet, he's just getting his economy, which he has plenty of. So I managed to destroy all of his galleys here in my base. I should have started the IR upgrade again. Sorry. Yeah. I should start the IR upgrade right now. But his galleons, bombardiers are still shelling my coastline, and my own bombardiers didn't really achieve much, unfortunately. I do try and knock out some of his wood workers, and he does have a tiger in his, a boar in his wood line, which costs him a few workers, and I do destroy quite a few trees. I'll try and make some galleons. I should have done that first, really, so I can, because galleons are better against other ships. But you can see I managed to get a few galleys into his bombardiers ships, but with Miss Micro, I focused too much on my other units and defending my coastline, rather than taking out these bombardiers, which I should have done. But I commit around all 26 of these workers just to harvesting iron as fast as possible, so that I can get as much iron out of that as I can. As you can see, we're about to hit 1 hour into the game, and I've now turned into abstract. My enemy has not chosen a country yet. I decided to go abstract because I would make balloons and snipe him as he's still medieval, and I assumed he didn't have much of an economy. Oh, how wrong I was. His economy was booming. I did manage to land a few catapults here to try snipe a dock, but it didn't work out. And you can see his economy is a huge amount better than mine. 30,000 of each resource and 5,000 iron, because he had the naval dominance, so he could make use of his economy. Sorry, his resources basically unharmed. I'm slowly picking my own economy up and gathering iron whenever I can, wherever I can. But I do start getting some docks out, even with 23 workers on my food, it's just not enough. I have managed to land here, and I try focus on using this wood so that in case of an attack I can fall back to my main base. And you can see another landing, which for some reason he doesn't really commit to. He kind of just stands there. He should really be rushing into my base. I don't have enough to defend myself. So I think a bit of a misplay on his part. But now he's also industrial as Great Britain, and he's got his own docks. But I get my mission controllers quicker. But the issue is that his economy is so much better. All he has to do is build these 2 mines, and he's absolutely fine. But he's still not got a lot of workers. Compared to me, I have only 50. I lost a lot in the bombardier attacks, but I am making more constantly and also getting the upgrades in the university. And I now have a large navy to get rid of the bombardier ships which are pestering my shoreline. And cost him some iron is the idea. Because these guys cost 300 iron each, and he's got 7 of them, so that's a lot of resources I could be taking. And he has the exact same idea as me, to kill me with balloons. You could see the blueprint that was there for a second, but I actually committed and I'm now starting to make balloons. And I think he notices that soon and starts building AA guns. See, my economy's back up to about normal levels. Well, his is absolutely insane. But his mistake is that he upgrades all of his houses, which I make that same mistake soon. Oh, and I missed it, unfortunately, but my navy does sink all of his ships, galleys, bombardiers, and machine gun trawlers all alike. And now he started to commit to the bomber balloons, which I also start making, and I pull them up here so that I can then cross over and hopefully snipe him. But he's got his own machine gun towers now, and my machine controllers are on his coast here. I was hoping to get rid of some of these buildings like the mine, but it didn't work out. You can see also that his economy is about half of what it was before. I think he might have deleted a lot of workers. Yeah, it looks like he deleted some workers. And he just started building AA guns, which quite effectively stopped me from my balloons. But I do a big brain play here and get my torpedo boats, which are very good against balloons. And I think I managed to take out one of his airfields here. Potentially, I cannot quite remember. No, I did not actually get his airfield. But these torpedo boats managed to protect me. And you can see his economy is starting to drop really rapidly, while I just spam towers because I still have 0 iron because he still had naval dominance. But I need to repair, so I send a load of my workers to gather iron because repairing an industrial costs iron. And I keep spamming machine gun towers to get rid of these balloons, as you can possibly see here. And my town hall actually drops below 1000 health, and luckily I managed to save it. He does invest in quite a lot of soldiers, which I think was a decent choice, which pays off later on, but I don't know how much. And he has full control of this island now that I landed on, and I also have full control of this island. So we've both got the same resources, or about the same potential to get resources, but now I have 2 mines and he only has 1. He's also building up his army. You can see his economy is starting to drop. Mine is really fragile, and my air defense is 8 machine gun towers. But I do send 4 machine gun balloons over to his island here. I was hoping to cut off his wood line here, but I don't know how, but somehow he... Ah, there we go. The division tower tells him that my balloons are on their way, and he does manage to defend himself in time. He gets a anti-aircraft gun, so my machine gun balloons are useless. You can see that the anti-aircraft machine gun is really effective here. And I split off my forces, meeting his soldiers. And he tries to sneak around my base here and go straight for my town hall, while I go straight for him with balloons. You can see I try to go from the top and get rid of these airfields, hoping that his economy is going to drop, which it is. But mine is in no better shape, honestly. You can see I'm getting rid of a few of these machine controllers. It's just to help out wasting his resources. Every single piece of wood and iron now counts because he has no wood left on his base, and I only have a small amount and a little tiny amount here. Well, actually quite a large amount here. And he's starting to run out of resources as well. He's got about 5,000 left in that stone node, which is his biggest source. And you can see I do manage to get rid of his 2 airfields here, and he still hasn't built an iron mine there, resulting in his iron economy dropping. I do manage to, yeah, those 2 airfields and a house. And you can see I now notice his big attack and start making military balloons and more AA guns and towers, which I can only just about afford. And you can see he's got his own military balloons, and he must be feeling quite confident until he sees these anti-aircraft cannons. So I focus his actual bomber balloons with the cannons, and the machine gun balloons focus on the military balloons, and same as the machine gun towers. And yet he still doesn't have a mine, and at the same time these soldiers are quite unluckily for me defending him against my balloons with the help of these 2 anti-aircraft guns. Oh, this third one here actually. But at my base, the situation isn't too bad. My town hall does drop in health a little bit, but all I do is just keep repairing while my anti-aircraft capabilities deal with it. You can see I've got a bit of a swarm now of units. The match is an hour and a half long, and both of us still have some way to collect resources. His economy's back up, and my economy's still down. But I think I'm trading better. So now that I've run out of wood on my island, I start sending more workers over to this island. And I also have some bombers, IR-1 bombers. I was hoping to be able to overpower his AA and just run in and get rid of the machine gun, anti-aircraft machine guns, but he's got his own soldiers and military balloons, so it really isn't too effective. You can see my planes go in and not a single one gets out, and all they achieve is getting rid of 2 houses. So it really was not worth it. But my opponent still has not built a mine here, resulting in his iron economy being quite weak, as now there is no iron on the map, and he has access to 0 wood now. So this 2,000 wood is his last amount of resources, and he's spending it on balloons, which is just going full defense. So yeah, now he pretends he's going to sleep. And I mentioned about the truce system, where if in 20 minutes no units die, there'll be a truce. But little does he know, I'm making tanks and a steamboat. So my plan now is to land tanks, because his machine guns can't do anything against them, even though later I find out that actually machine guns are very good against tanks. And I was hoping to snipe him, but you can see he's still here, active, but he's just tricking me into thinking he's gone. You can see I've actually got a decent economy, while he's left with that amount of wood, and that's it for the rest of the game. Well, I have 2 mines working, so I have twice the amount of iron as him. And now... Oh yeah, I just missed it here. You could see that I made a fatal mistake of upgrading all of my houses. I've got a lot of them. I didn't need to upgrade them all, and I shouldn't have upgraded any of them really. It costs me 7,000 wood. I just shouldn't have done that. Big mistake for me. And now I've run out completely of wood on all my islands, leaving me with this much. But now I will show you a pretty fun strategy. So you can see that there's a few trees here, and what I do is land these workers, collect the wood. Once they've collected their full capacity, which is 45, or 30, sorry, they will then board the boat again. I'll land at my base with 2 sets, that's 12 workers on this wood. I landed here, walk them back to my town hall to deposit the resources. That's 45 because of the efficiency. And then I go back and collect more wood. This actually gives me enough resources for 1 or 2 more tanks, which is actually very useful. You can see at this point I think he is AFK, and I use this 1 military balloon to attempt to whittle away the soldiers, which he has 40 of, and 31 machine gun balloons, so obviously that's not going to work. You can see I've got 5 tanks now. I do get 7 soon, I think. So I keep going with my tank production, and you can see I'm staying around the same resources because of this. So I've got plenty of resources for the production I'm doing, at least. And you can see here the first landing of tanks. I'm focusing down the AA guns so that my bomber balloons can go in. But he lied, he did not go to sleep, or if he did, he may have just woken up, because these 40 soldiers actually managed to take out my tank. And now I have 0 wood. And the military balloons go into action. I just pull on my entire military and make a single engineer once I land, so I can repair these tanks. And as you can see, desperate times call for desperate measures. My 1 engineer is on his way, and he's going to repair all my tanks. I've still got a little bit of wood, so I think I make 1 more tank or something, because they cost I think 500 or 300 wood each, so that's not too bad. And I do have some balloons, but there's not much I can do at this point. Those military balloons and his soldiers are just too much. Even for tanks, I was going to make heavy tanks, but that would require me to go to IR2, which is why I upgrade all my houses. But it was just not viable with the amount of resources I had. You can see he does 1 last ditch attempt to get into my base with these military balloons, which he can't actually kill me with, and he has not enough wood left to do anything. He doesn't even have factories, so he physically cannot kill me at this point unless he somehow makes 1 unit that can damage my town hall. But you can see that he just gives up after seeing that he can't kill me, and thus ending the 2-hour match. So thank you everyone for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.